Thank you all for being here. Today I wanted to take a minute to talk about the high level of violence that we've experienced in the city of Oakland, particularly over the last several days. Obviously, we have had 57 homicides so far this year in the city of Oakland. Completely unacceptable. It's unacceptable for community members to have to live through the violence that they're experiencing.
We've been listening to San Jose officials and advocates who have partnered with the city on some new measures.
June 6th, I want to speak to a shooting that happened on June 6th where 5 individuals were shot. The shooting happened around 9:20 p.m. in the 5100 block of Ignacio Avenue. And sadly, 5 individuals, were shot during this gunfire as they attended a visual. It's just sad that not only was the 5 individuals impacted by this shooting, but also several community members were impacted by this shooting. This violence in Oakland needs to stop. We need to come together as a community and band to unite against violence, to ask the people in our community that continue to pick up guns in our community to put the guns down, to cease fire. Our strategy to address gun violence. Our ceasefire strategy continues to be effective. We continue to recover firearms at a record pace in the city of Oakland. We're over 400 recoveries at this point. And we'll continue to try to address the guns in our community. Sadly, even today, at 12:06 p.m. today, we had additional shooting in the 600 block of Clara Street, where 2 females were shot, both of which are now in the hospital with severe injuries. So the violence continues even this morning. This is a call to action for everybody. That there's a need to come together to address gun violence. We have to all stand and say this level of violence is unacceptable. And I think we also have to recognize in this moment, we have to both think about enforcement, but also prevention. Not one or the other can work independently. We need to work together, and we need community to come together with us as well. I also want to make sure that it's clear that I'm in full support of the statements pushed out by Alameda County District Attorney Nancy O'Malley yesterday regarding the decision to overturn the ban on assault rifles in the state of California. I think in the city of Oakland, it has been tremendously problematic with the number of assault rifles that we've seen used in violent crimes in the city of Oakland, particularly in our most marginalized communities in deep East Oakland, where we continue to see shootings happening almost on a daily basis. It's a sad day that we as a community have to deal with the fact that those in leadership positions have decided that it's okay to have these type of weapons of war in our community. So I stand with District Attorney O'Malley and her assertion that this state of California, we need to do something about the banning of these weapons and continue to push at the highest levels in this country. I've obviously been to the White House and had a chance to hear from the president speaking about this epidemic regarding violence. We are experiencing this epidemic firsthand in the city of Oakland. And I just hope that our community comes together to begin to address this. So I'll take a few questions.
Or if you have a question, please raise your hand. Use the raise your hand feature. George Kelly, please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Chief Armstrong. Your statement yesterday said, this is a call to action. I encourage our community and others to unite. We must all stand together. What would you offer as a model for standing together and uniting, given that other community groups are certainly offering other models for standing together or uniting around approaches to violence and trauma?
Well, I think it's when I say stand together, I mean all of us coming together, law enforcement, our Department of Violence Prevention, as well as community members and clergy, coming together to advocate against gun violence, to say that we all deserve to live in a safe community, that we all deserve to rest at night without the fear of gunshots coming through our homes. We're not there yet in the city of Oakland. And in order to get there, it's going to take a collective effort by all of us. Not one, individual organization or one community group is going to be able to solve this by themselves. And we can't have, in this moment where people are losing their lives, divisiveness about who can do what. I think we all need to come together, all hands on deck. Everybody should be engaged in violence prevention. Everybody should want people to live. I think Chief Cespedes and I have had many discussions, our Chief of Department of Violence Prevention, about two things. We can't prevent our way out of this, and we can't enforce our way out of this. This is going to have to be something that we all come together and work on.
All right. Any additional questions? All right, Chief, I'm going to give it back to you to close, sir.
Well, this is, it's clearly a time in this country where we're experiencing mass shootings and gun violence across our nation. And Oakland is not immune to this. With 57 homicides, those are not just numbers, those are families. Those are individuals that are no longer in our community, and it's sad. And so my heart goes out to the families of the victims of these crimes. And I say, we don't want 58 or 59, but that's going to take a collective effort from everybody to come together and feel the same exact way. And so I appreciate our community's willingness to stand up with us. I think collectively we can do this. Oakland can be a safe city. Oakland can reduce gun violence like we've done for several years.